Nowadays, GNS3 supports so many operating systems and devices like Windows 10, Ubuntu, Kali Linux are few ones. We can download associated VMDK files from Microsoft website for Windows OS. And for any other Linux, you can get it from the osboxes.org, most of which comes with the default settings. Sometimes we need a complete OS other than listed on the GNS3 appliances with some additional softwares. Just think about it. Can we run a completely customized OS inside a GNS3 as a virtual machine? Say example Ubuntu Mate edition with tools like Ansible installed for automations or Windows OS with some packet capturing softwares, monitoring softwares, etc. Can we do that in GNS3? Answer is yes, we can do that. Just follow along with me. We will configure and run completely customized operating system inside GNS3. So I'm going to use Ubuntu Mate 19.04 64-bit OS. We will install Ansible on it for automation and we'll also add a text editor like Atom or a Visual Studio Code for creating Ansible playbooks. In case you want a different operating system, process will be the same. Before starting, make sure you configure GNS3 and GNS3 VM properly. Also check that you have enough RAM and disk space on a GNS3 VM before adding this VM. First, download ISO image of OS you wish to install. After downloading ISO image, we will create a virtual machine on the VMware Workstation. You can also use a VMware Workstation player, which is completely free. I'm going to divide this session into two parts. In part 1, we will create a virtual machine of an operating system that you wish to use in a GNS3. I'm going to use an Ubuntu Mate 1904 Linux OS. You can use a different operating system, no issues. I'm also going to remove some unwanted softwares from Ubuntu Mate to reduce the size of a VM. Then we are going to install some packages like Ansible for network automation tasks and Visual Studio Code for creating Ansible playbooks in Ubuntu Mate. In part 2, we are going to add this customized VM inside GNS3. From home, select create new virtual machine and just follow on-screen instructions. It is very easy to create the VM and I'm going to fast forward it. There is one very important thing you need to do at a screen where you need to assign disk size for VM. There are two options available for you. First one, you can store virtual disk as a single file, and second, you can split virtual disk in a multiple files. We need to select first option to store virtual disk as a single file. This is very important. By default, second option is selected, so be sure you choose the first one and continue installation. As soon as installation gets completed, your VM may restart. After installation, shut down your VM and select Edit Virtual Machine Settings. Here we are going to remove unwanted devices like floppy, USB controller, printers, etc. as we don't need those devices in a GNS3. Remove some unwanted softwares from Ubuntu Mate to reduce the size of a VM. Now we are going to add some softwares on this VM. To install Ansible on Ubuntu Mate, visit Ansible documentation website and from there select section installation. Choose Ubuntu from guide as a control node for installation. There are few commands we need to execute to install Ansible. We will copy paste it in Ubuntu Mate terminal. After installation completes, in case you need to verify, you can execute the command ansible --version. And from the output you can see that Ansible version 2.8.0 is installed and it is using Python version 2.7.16. To install Visual Studio Code, visit code.visualstudio.com and download .deb package. After download, open location where you stored it, open that file with a GDB package installer. Select Install Package. Type password here. Open Visual Studio Code and add Ansible extension in it so that we can use the features like auto completion, syntax highlighting, etc. This is an optional one. You can create Ansible playbooks without adding Ansible language extension in VS Code.